with you, Matt. Who's there with you?
I'm Latrina. I'm Shonda.
Nice to see you.
We just manage 8 properties here in Marion. And then we're looking to open up 2 other businesses here.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Definitely welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening.
You're
We hope that you come back. And we're like in our second week of having Black business owners present and talk a bit about the ins and outs of what they do and who they are. So we would love to hear ventures into real estate and also like where you see things going for you here. So yeah, welcome. So super excited.
Thanks.
Welcome, Pastor Jackie.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here tonight to support Sarita, to hear all the wonderful things she's doing and ideas.
Sure.
Great, Pastor Jackie. And Pastor Jackie has a Bible study tonight. So
Yeah, so I may have to jump off before we're done. So that's why I'm leaving, okay? And Tara's a part of the ministry, so
Okay. Okay. Got you.
I have the notes, Pastor. I have the notes.
you got the notes. Good. Great.
That's awesome. Well, if it's okay, I would love to jump in and introduce our guest speaker this evening. I have a bio here that I'm going to read for Mrs. Sarita Lawrence, but I will say is that since coming back to Marion, there's been no one who's made me feel more welcome as a young Black professional than Sarita Lawrence. And she's advocated for me to do certain work in the community, but also in the school. So I'm excited about being able to present to you a mentor, a friend, a business owner, a mom, a wife, and I guess I can say hyphen, because she does a lot. So I'll present her bio and then I'm going to pass the mic to Sarita Lawrence to talk to you a little bit about her business and businesses that she's in Marion, Ohio. So Sarita has been raised mainly in Marion, Ohio. Her family migrated to the area from New York to be closer to her late grandfather in his final years. Sarita graduated from Marion Harding High School, go Prexies, before obtaining a bachelor's degree from Urbana University in exercise science. Sarita married her husband in 2014, and his name is Bryson Lawrence. Short story, Bryson and I also actually played college football against each other. So really solid person. Also, Sarita and Bryson share 3 children, one to which I have the privilege of mentoring every Friday. Just love that kid, he's so amazing. And the most important thing, which Sarita is going to be talking a bit about this evening, is that Bryson and her own and operate Phase 6 Strength and Performance. So without further ado, can we give a hand to Sarita Lawrence? All right, Sarita, it's all yours.
Thanks, Johnny. That's really sweet. I am an advocate for your work, and so I'm glad to hear that it's helpful and it's making it. My voice is helping to make a difference, at least encouraging one for you. So, obviously, Johnny has shared with you all who I am, and my husband and I, we both co-own together Phase 6 Strength and Performance. We're located at 1001 South Prospect Street, Suite 103. We were downtown, but we just moved to this new location in August of 2021. So fairly new, but the accessibility has been a huge benefit to us and to our clients, being on a 1-floor street level. So it's been really nice. The products and services that well, let me start with the inception of the business, I guess. So my husband has been training for about 11 years now. He was a student athlete, a collegiate athlete. He played some professional indoor football here in town for the Marion Mayhem, and then they were the Marion Blue Racers. He always had this dream to play in the NFL or to play in the Canadian League, but that didn't pan out for him. So one of the things that he always knew was that he loved fitness, he loved training athletes and just being in that industry. So he knew fairly early on that this was going to be something business-wise for him, that basically he was going to be an entrepreneur. We offer a menu of things at our facility. We provide adult strength training. We provide athlete strength and performance training. We have all different age groups of people that we work with. We have something for everybody where we're at. Bryson started out when he and I first started dating. He started out training youth athletes. So his love for the kids, mentorship, leadership, that was kind of what built what we have now with our youth program. He worked at a place you guys might be familiar with, what the Power Factory was what it was referred to a long time ago. It's so crazy how life works, because when I was in elementary school and my family and I were newer to the area, one of the first jobs my mom got as a part-time position on the weekends was cleaning the downtown athletic club. So we lived on Columbia Street, right across from Tubby's, and every Sunday we would have our mop and our bucket. I don't know why they didn't keep supplies there, but here I'd be with my mom walking a couple blocks up to clean the downtown athletic club. And then however many years later, my husband and I opened our first joint business venture downstairs of the downtown athletic club. So kind of funny how that worked out. So he had trained at the Power Factory for about 8 or 9 years. And then we became aware that there was going to be an ownership change. And we thought that it was the best opportunity at that time to go out on our own and to really go on business for ourselves. We thought that it was the best financial decision for our family too. So that was easily one of the most stressful times of our life, trying to navigate financial lending for businesses and commercial accounts and the different opportunities that are available for minority business owners, as well as understanding that there's what's called a personal guarantee. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but a lot of banks, a lot of lenders have what's called a personal guarantee. And when you go into a lending agreement with a bank, they will say, okay, well, if your business isn't successful, or if you default on this loan, by giving us this personal guarantee, if you decide to go into bankruptcy or file something like that, you're still liable for this amount that you're borrowing from us. So we didn't have any investors. We don't have any partners. We are our own partners. We are a legitimately small, locally owned business. And so that was an experience for us trying to navigate that. I've learned a lot from that experience, not really having a resource that we felt we could go to help figure out what opportunities would be available for us. So we ended up working through that. We opened phase 6 strength and performance downtown in 2018. And we were there for 3 years. We loved being downtown. We love the area. We love the revitalization that's going on downtown. This move was just all about accessibility and making sure that our clients and customers with limited mobility have an opportunity to come work with us. They can get in and out easy, that sort of thing. It was really just the basis of our decision making. So I think that entrepreneurship just in general has taught us a lot. We thought we were hard workers until we decided to really go after the American dream and be in business for ourselves. There were nights when we first opened our gym, it was just under 5,000 square feet of space. We had to take out walls, we had to paint, we had 2 kids at the time. I work a full-time job in Delaware for a housing provider. So I would go to work 9 to 5. I would get home, meet Bri, we'd pick up the kids, and we'd go paint, tear out floors until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We had cots for our kids to sleep while we were working because they were in school. It was a chaotic time, but it was definitely an experience that I know I've learned a lot from. He's learned a lot from. Our kids getting to witness what blood, sweat, and tears looks like and how hard mom and dad work. I just don't think that the experience is. I think it's just there's so much value to it. There's so many things. So that's kind of the journey of how phase 6 has gotten to where we are now. We are definitely hopeful to continue expanding our business franchise. I think that that's definitely a little ways out, but we're certainly looking for opportunities locally to partner with different employers and their staff, the hospital. We'd like to start to merge into that direction more that now that we have the space and the functionality to do so. So I've talked about our adult group training. We do offer one-on-one training as well. Bryson's extremely passionate about the state of our community, where we sit right now as the county in Ohio as far as health and wellness goes. My husband's born and raised here. I've lived here for most of my life. While we are here, we want to make sure that we're remembered for contributing to the health and wellness of our community, our kids. We also have a partnership at our gym with a company called Fit Fresh Fast. It's a meal prep service. They are a Columbus-owned business. They are a phenomenal team of chefs and owners. They provide a weekly menu for our clients to order online, and then we deliver them here to Marion, and our clients just pick them up from the gym. Their menu is outstanding. It's all never frozen. It's all fresh, vacuum sealed, labeled with your calories, your protein, your carbs, so that you're aware of what you're eating, how much you're eating. It's been a huge benefit to us as a family. We do them every week. Lunch is the hardest meal, I think, because we're all on the go trying to do a million things. And if you offer me a fast food line when I'm really, really hungry, I'm probably going to take it. So this helps us and our clients to be prepared with the fuel that our bodies need. We also have a partnership with Ascent Protein products. Those are available in our gym for purchase for those people who are looking for different protein products, different supplement products. There's even a protein water. I know that shakes aren't everybody's cup of tea, so to say. So we have a protein water that is pretty popular at our gym too. My husband is very passionate about working with high school athletes. He loves our athlete program, high school athletes, middle school athletes, all the way down to elementary. We came out with a program called our Mini Beast program a few years ago, and that was really popular. And we've continued different programs to just kind of see what sticks with the kids program. So we're looking forward to continuing that. I guess overall our goal in Marion is to just help people improve their quality of life, feel better, look better, and perform better, is what my husband loves to say. I think one of the questions that I was asked to comment on is, why are Black businesses important? As a Black business owner, I know why it's important to me, but I did some Googling to see how I could better articulate my thoughts on this. And I found some really interesting, I found this interesting article from Green America. It's greenamerica.org. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. They're a platform that's all about business ownership and social justice. I was reading through there about this article that they had written about Black business ownership, and there's just a couple of statistics that I wanted to share because they were new to me and very interesting. But on there, they stated that as of 2016, the net worth of an average African-American family is equal to less than 15% of the average white family, and 1 in 5 Black households net worth, according to the Federal Reserve. And they said that if this current trend continues, that $0 will be the median wealth for Black families by 2053. And that was according to a 2017 report by Prosperity Now and the Institute for Policy Studies. So that's just mind-blowing to me when we talk about what is the importance of Black business. Well, our culture, our community is literally dependent on it. When small businesses, but exclusively Black businesses flourish, it is beneficial for everyone in the community, not just those of us within the Black community. They also said that Black businesses were essential to growth after a recession because they're more likely to hire individuals within the Black community, so further generating income for Black families. A 2017 study by the National Community Reinvestment Coalition found that banks were twice as likely to provide business loans to white applicants over Black applicants, and that alone made it harder for Black Americans and entrepreneurs of color to start businesses, which was kind of relates back to what I was talking about when we first decided that we wanted to go in business and knew that we were going to need to search for a line of credit so that we could invest in new equipment and all of the things that we were using as an independent contractor at another gym that my husband was training at, that we couldn't take with us when we opened our new gym. And weights, I had no idea, because I've never purchased commercial fitness equipment, is incredibly expensive. Like, you could spend $10,000-$20,000 like nothing. So that was, it's just been an eye-opening experience for me. But I think that when you spend your money with small businesses, Black businesses, that is something that is invaluable. Right now, my husband and my kids are at travel baseball practice. The reason that we get to do these extra things is not to pad a pension or to buy a vacation home. It's to literally feed, clothe, and provide opportunities for our Black children, who then become leaders, mentors, and hopefully Black business owners in our community. So for us, in my opinion, that's why Black businesses, the most important reason why I think we need to have Black businesses in our community. It's also a way that we get to provide representation for our kids when we talk about business ownership and we talk about what it is to build generational wealth. A family member of mine, she said to me one time, and she's the only family member I have that I'm aware of anyway that has these kinds of quote unquote problems. But she said to me, it's so interesting having too much money to where now you have to put your money in trusts and use trusts as a bank for your family. And I was like, I don't know anyone that does that. I want that. I want to be able to build financial literacy amongst my husband and I, my kids, so that we can build generational wealth. I was driving through Hilliard. My middle son, he played in the flag football league. Was driving through Hilliard, and one thing that I noticed was that any time after his football game that we wanted to grab something to eat for our kids, we couldn't find a McDonald's. And I'm not familiar with Hilliard, just driving through. But where we were at, we couldn't find a McDonald's. We couldn't find a Wendy's. We couldn't find a Burger King, a Taco Bell. We couldn't find any of these types of chains or franchises. in the area that we were. And so it really got me thinking about why business owners choose to, how they choose to locate their business and why they choose the communities that they choose to put them in. And I don't know all of the political stuff or numbers and stuff behind this, but what I have a general sense for in Marion is we're a pretty small community. We have 2 McDonald's, 2 Burger Kings, 2 Wendy's. We have 2 of those fast food chains. I know I'm onto something when I say that those franchises seek out communities like ours. Where are there communities where health is in a poor state, just general overall wellness is in a poor state? Where are there lower income families? Where, what communities have the highest relevance of diabetes or long-term health conditions? And they strategically place these restaurants, these food chains in those areas because they know we're going to spend money there. I would like to 3 McDonald's. Yeah, I stand corrected. You're right. I would like to help build Marion, be a part of what propels Marion to be a community where we're healthy enough, we're educated enough, the economics are flowing, we've got money within our communities, that predatory placement of businesses like Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King, those kinds of businesses that are not contributing to the overall health and wellness of our community, they don't want to come here anymore because they know that we're not going to spend our money in that way. It's really important to think about how we're spending our money, who we're spending it with, and why. So I feel like our business, the positive impact that we plan to have in our community, is a wonderful reason to want to spend your hard-earned money with us if you're not already prioritizing your own health and your own wellness. I mean, that's what we provide. So if that's not the number one priority, then let it be, because we're positively impacting our community and the youth in our community. COVID, how did that impact our business? COVID-19 was the second toughest part of being in business. We were mandated to shut down in late March, I believe. I couldn't remember exactly. And that everything kind of stopped for us. We weren't prepared to deal with, nobody was, a pandemic. This whole experience has been unprecedented, but it was incredibly scary. We had mandated to close. There was, and it was for an indefinite period of time. We really didn't have any clarity on what to expect. We had staff at the time that were no longer generating an income from working with us. Our livelihood was at risk because half of our household income does come from our business. It was incredibly scary. It still to this day has had a negative impact on our business, just because simply not everybody's comfort level with contracting COVID is the same. Some people still do not feel comfortable coming back to a gym environment and sharing that space with other people, mask or no mask. So we still have clients that have not come back to our business, which isn't, that's not a good thing. We're hoping that over time that changes, but 2 years later, we're still dealing with the impact of COVID. We were fortunate enough to qualify for a PPP loan, and we just a couple months ago were told that we did get our forgiveness granted. So that was a plus. I didn't know how that was going to go. I know what the government said was going to happen, but I didn't know if that was actually going to happen or if there was going to be some clause that we didn't pay enough attention to. It was a very foreign process to us, but we worked with our banker that we have our business account with Huntington, and they're really gracious to us and helped us navigate what was an incredibly tough process on that side of things, I'm sure. So we're still working our way back from that, but we are in a far better position than we were at the start of things. So I'm not really sure what's next for us. I think on a personal level, as I stated before, I think that being a Black business owner is definitely something that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the experience. I've learned a ton. My kids get to see firsthand what it's like being a business owner and entrepreneurship. I'm a far more resilient and tougher person because of being an entrepreneur. There's always things that you're hit with. The thought of entrepreneurship is so appealing and enticing because you get to be your own boss and you get to make your own schedule, and you don't have to work for anybody. I know that people use those catchphrases. I do think, though, that as an entrepreneur, you do work for somebody. You work for your client base because your success depends on you. It's great not to have a boss. It's great not to, to make your own schedule and do your own thing. But the scariest part of entrepreneurship is that your successes are always, to your credit, but so is your failure. I am as successful as I want to be. That sounds simple, but when you are in business for someone else, you get paid time off. You get, you might get a salary. You might get paid for as little or as much work as you do, the same. When you're in business for yourself, that's not always the case, especially when you're starting out in business. My husband works more now being in business for himself than he did being employed by someone else. So I think the realities of entrepreneurship are that you're going to work really freaking hard, but it's definitely worth the growth and the experience, and especially if it's doing something that you are passionate about. My husband is incredibly passionate about strength and performance training and being an athlete and training for life. That's what we say. I mean, when you think about lifting weights, people have all these opinions in their head about, well, I don't need to lift weights because I'm not a power lifter. I'm not an athlete, but we're all athletes. We're all picking up our kids, our grandkids. Those cases of water are freaking heavy. Every time you lift that up out of the back of your trunk and you bring it into your car, or you lift it up off the floor, you're using the same muscle groups. You're using, your legs, all of those things that you do in a normal day-to-day life. Those are the things that we help women and men to train for. We want to make sure that grandparents who come in are able to play for as long as they want to while they're still here with their grandkids. My husband's really passionate about the female athlete and trying to build more opportunities for them. He feels like the focus and attention for the male athlete on strength training and performance training is always at the forefront, but the female athlete, not so much. And he has read plenty of articles that attribute torn MCLs and ACLs, and the percentage that those sorts of injuries happen to female athletes versus the male athlete boils down to strength and performance training because of the way that female athletes' anatomy is with their knees and their hips, and strengthening those core muscle groups to help reduce sports-related injuries. So that's something that I know he's passionate about. He loves working with female athletes. He's trained with Division I athletes, professional athletes. I know that he loves it. My kids love it even more. They think it's fantastic. They love all the perks that come with it too, tickets to games and things like that. So it's definitely something that we all get to benefit from. But one of the ideas that we had tossed around that we hope to um, be able to bring to the community at some point, we wanted to start a nonprofit organization for student athletes who are interested in playing at the next level, building a program for them that provides scholarships so they can prepare their bodies physically and mentally to transition into a collegiate athlete. Johnny had mentioned that he played college football, and so has my husband. And I played college basketball for a little while as well. And the transition can be pretty tough, especially for a kid from a small town. And it can, it's a grueling experience if you're not prepared in the right way. And I think that a lot of kids from our community have so much potential academically and athletically. And so to be able to provide them with an opportunity to get a paid scholarship to get an education would be wonderful. So
Rita,
that's
it's strange that you should say that, because Johnny and I were just talking about the transitions that our athletes face. And that's why they don't stay at college, because
yeah.
we treat them like kings and queens and things here. And then when they go to college, they're just one person on the
Yes.
map. And I've seen you at a lot of the athletic contests, and I see that I see the wheels turning in your heads. I see, little Micah running up and down the court. I see Dez being the ball boy and those type things. So Johnny and I were just talking about how can we facilitate these transitions. So what you're saying about McDonald's and predatory placement and building generational wealth and building financial literacy and growth after recession. I mean, what you're saying is just so deep into what our psyche should be as African Americans in this community. But what I've got two questions that I want to ask. And Johnny, can I ask a question like right now? Or no, Sarita, I'll ask after you finish up. So why don't you finish up? And then I do have two questions that I want to get in before I go to Bible study.
Well, I was getting ready to finish. I was just going to say that,
Finish up.
that
I'm
concludes.
rude. I'm rude. So finish up. And
that
Wow.
concludes.
I just love what you're saying. My heart is like beating because you're so young and you shouldn't have to experience all these things. But it's just amazing what you're saying, coming from the mouth of someone so young. So yeah, so go ahead and finish and I will go from there.
In the words of Kanye, I'm gonna let you finish, Sarita. But I do want people on here to the last link that I posted in our chat is the Facebook page to Phase 6. I do want us to go out and check out some of the amazing things that they're posting on the Phase 6 Strength and Performance Facebook page. One of the highlights that I do want to kind of point you to is their amazing podium week that they're highlighting. But I just want to point that out, and then I'm going to do some other things that kind of highlight some things too. But Sarita, go ahead.
Johnny, what you say? Did you say podium week?
Yeah, it's called Podium Week. Maybe okay. Sarita, you can talk a little bit about that before you end.
Yep. So we're very passionate about high fives and pat on the backs and recognizing our clients and from where they started when they started with us and celebrating their successes. No one person's success looks the same. So it's not just about scale victories. We're about health and wellness, and we want to make sure that people are encouraged because it's a commitment and some days you don't want to do it, but celebrating our clients is incredibly important to us. So definitely check out our page and read on some of the familiar faces that you may know and about their commitment to the gym, why they've done it and what those successes are for them. We are we just recently hosted an event, a free event for the Marion Women's Business Council. I know that Bri enjoyed that. That's definitely something that we want to continue doing with different councils. So we'll definitely try to arrange something with the group here. We want to bring you guys out and get a little sweat on and talk. You can learn more about our business and where we're at. Miss Dyer's shaking her head. I also just wanted to put a little plug real quick. I am, I don't know, call me crazy or whatever, but I've been really passionate about real estate for a long time. My husband and I recently sold our house. So right now I'm taking the coursework through Hondros to get my realty license. So hopefully we'll have a new realtor on the team in a month or two. But thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your time, and I'm open to questions.
Again, I want to make a plug. Just if you could, please go out to the Facebook page, like it, share it, engage with it, because it is a really engaging Facebook page. And yeah, go ahead and ask questions. Thank you so much for your presentation, Sarita.
I wanted to thank you so much, Sarita, for your presentation. And I want to give my condolences. I think you lost someone in your family this week.
I did, yes. The funeral
Yeah,
for my uncle
yeah.
David
My
was today.
condolences to you and your
Thank you.
family.
Thank you.
But I had put a question in the chat earlier, but you kind of hit on it. I asked about the lending process and if you got your lending locally, because I know that that can sometimes be somewhat cumbersome for African American with that lending process. So I just kind of wanted to just get a quick feedback. I know you mentioned Huntington, but is that local Huntington or is that Huntington out of the city?
It's a local branch, but I don't think that bank, I think that's a national bank. I
Yeah.
would have liked to borrow from a local lender, and I know that we're getting ready to talk about some other opportunities to expand our credit line right now. So if you guys have resources or recommendations for local banks that are familiar with any programs for minorities, it's definitely something that we'd be interested in looking into for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe Rodney. That sounds like something up his.
Mhm.
Rodney, you have anything on that?
No, actually, I don't. I've been locked in here to where I haven't had to reach out to anyone yet. So no, I don't have anything on that front.
Okay.
But I do have a question.
Yeah.
So before COVID, what was one of your biggest obstacles in just getting off the ground and getting started? And two, when you talk about expansion now, what kind of things have you set metrics or goals to achieve before you even consider expanding?
Yes. The biggest obstacle, I think, pre-COVID, and I think you touched on this last week, Rodney, my husband really struggles with marketing. For me, I can get on there, I can write a caption, I can put something together, but for him, that's a little bit more difficult. He's a man of few words, so having to type them out is sometimes it can take a long time for him. But I just think marketing, we have done different things. We've hired different consulting businesses to run our Facebook ads, run our Instagram ads. We even at one point had them running a Facebook ad that had they also managed all the leads for us, and then they passed it through us. So we've tried different elements of marketing, and we're still working through that. I don't know that has left us as an obstacle, but that was probably one of the biggest ones. And then your next question was about our growth. We definitely my husband works with a team of professionals who have owned their own gym or are in the industry to help come up with those metrics. How many clients, on average, do we need to see in a month? What does the average membership need to be per month? How many of those do we need? to get to this monthly gross revenue to be able to acquire or purchase the things that we want to do. The planning is the easy part, in my opinion. The execution, the consistency, and the discipline that you have to have as an entrepreneur. If he doesn't do it, there are probably not too many other people that are going to do certain things. So and the work-life balance that plays in as an entrepreneur too. Your phone is constantly dinging with a text message, a client, a trainer, a staff person, or a lead that's coming through. So I think at times it's a struggle for him to manage like home time and work time. I don't know that ever goes away. I'm not confident based on my conversations with other entrepreneurs, but it's certainly something that affects us.
So Sarita, I noticed too that your company sponsored my grandson's flag football team. I wondered if that was strategic in what you and your husband do, or how that plays into the marketing piece. And then my second question is, I noticed that there is only one like facility for kids to and that's the old Rec or Excel. Do you guys think that might be something that you're interested in? You know how often are you say that there's nothing to do, and the accessibility of Excel. I mean, so is that something that you might be interested in?
Okay, so let me answer your first question. The strategic sponsorship of youth teams, yes. Every dollar that we spend has to be strategic because we don't have an unlimited amount of resources. But I say that, and what I also say to that is that so we spend our money that we do have in marketing in the places that we think are the most important. We 100% without a doubt know that our youth programs have to have sponsors. Kids have to be able to have opportunities to get exercise, to socialize, to compete, to figure out whether or not sports, basketball, football, whatever, is something that can create opportunities for them. I didn't have parents that could afford to send me to college. I had to do that on my own. One of the ways that I did that was by being a collegiate athlete to help pay for school. I tell my kids that mom and dad are not going to pay for college. We've worked really hard to build a retirement, and college tuition is not in our budget. So academically, athletically, however you do it, you are going to do it. So I think that's the reality for a lot of families. My husband is a diehard football fanatic. So any football youth program that needs a sponsor, he's going to spend the money. We haven't generated a lot of leads from that, surprisingly, but we still invest in it because it's important to us. Your second question was, partnership with other facilities. Was that?
Trying to have another. My son Sean has, no place to work out kids and gym rates and all that. So I'm wondering if there is a way or an idea of what we can do to have gyms for these kids, especially the high schoolers who fashion themselves to be. So that was a question: can your business expand to be a diverse kind of a? I know what phase 6 is, but can it expand in that way?
We would definitely be interested in talking about opportunities to do that. Before we looked at the building where we're at now, we actually wanted to move into one of those warehouse style buildings right beside the high school because we knew that proximity was going to be a big deal for kids. And we wanted kids to be able to finish up their school day, come to the gym, get something to eat, train, and just spend time with good mentors for the better part of their day. There's so many things that kids can be doing. We want to provide positive ways for them to spend their day. It didn't work out, obviously. We also, though, did talk with the owner of Excel, and we're good friends with him about different things that we could do to partner with him. We talked to a couple businesses, actually. They didn't pan out for one reason or another, but we're certainly interested in coming up with a way to provide opportunities that are more accessible, especially for our kids inner city. My husband, when he was coaching at the high school, he did go to the high school and provide strength training for the football team. We can definitely, he's also done that for Dublin. He's done it for different schools. We have another guy who works at our facility that works with the River Valley kids, I believe. My husband worked in the summer with Pleasant. So there are certainly interests on our end to be able to, whether it is or isn't at phase 6's location, to work with other partners to create something that, you know, might be more accessible. We're very open and flexible to different things. And yeah, if you're aware of, you know, some ideas or some people who've got an interest, definitely point them to us or us to them so we can connect and build from there.
How about Matt and guests who are with Matt? What do you all have any questions?
They did not, however, I certainly have a comment. Sarita, fantastic presentation. As always, really great information. And all the questions I had, you answered all of them. And just a really, really awesome story and a success story. And some really great things happening over there. And you're 100% right. You look at the employee health rankings, I guess. I think Marion is back to one of the worst in the state again, in terms of I think overall health, and a couple of other indicators were like 86 out of 88 counties.
Yeah.
In that. So there's certainly work to be done in that arena for sure in Marion. So that's excellent. Thank you so much for all you're doing. Back to the marketing question, things like that, for not just you, but others that might be on this. Have you ever reached out to the SBDC office, Small Business Development Center office in McElwaina? Lacey, here, our local liaison. It's free, and it's and they have access to a lot of marketing tools and tutorials and even like full plans on how to, I guess, market yourself and your business. And it's all, again, at no cost for folks to take advantage of. Just something to maybe think about. The Small Business Development Center in McElwaina Lacey. And she'll meet with you, set up your whole plan, pack on things you're looking for marketing.
Oh, that's great. Yes, I appreciate that.
You can actually share our contact information after this with everyone here too.
That would be wonderful.
So if there are no other questions, I did have one last question before we end. Sarita, how can we share, grow, and build with your particular business? Like, could you kind of tell us about how we can do that with you? And yeah, like what does that look like for us?
Yeah, so I think the easiest, most cost-effective way to help small businesses is to interact and share their social media pages. The more interaction we get, the more likes, comments, views we get, the more the higher it pushes us to on other people's timelines. We know that to build habits with marketing, a customer has to see something 6, 7 times before they actually purchase or inquire. And so the more that we can get our message, our image, our logo, our business name spread through social media, that is a very inexpensive way to have a significant impact on a small business. We sell apparel, so if that's something that we post about, if you could share, or if you're interested in purchasing, you could wear a sweatshirt with our logo on it around town. The more people see that, it's always significantly beneficial to us. Or you can come to Phase 6 as a member and sign up. We have free trials that we provide. We have referral incentives that we offer to those who bring a friend or refer somebody. We try to make it as beneficial as possible and give back to those people who do help us to bring in more members.
Sarita, what is the website again for Phase 6, or what's the best way for people to learn more or get in contact with you?
Well, our Facebook page is probably the easiest way to find us, at Phase 6 Strength and Performance. Our website is phase6strengthandperformance.com.
Johnny, I do have some closing updates from the Minority Business Assistance Center, if we're in that section of the agenda.
Sure. Go ahead, Matt.
Sarita, thank you again. Very quickly from the Minority Business Assistance Center, they just sent this out yesterday. I'll share this with folks, I should say. And then again, they do this a lot, where I'm getting this information and then literally it's for something that happened today. But there's a 4-part emotional wellness series for entrepreneurs, which kind of ties in a little bit about what we're just talking about. But it's a 4-part, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. 4-week series. Today was the first one, but they still sign up for that. On the other dates are the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. And this is again available on the Minority Business Assistance Center website, which is again everything here is free. They also had some upcoming, which I thought was so interesting. On January 11th, they have What's in Your Wallet is the title of that presentation. Perfecting Your Elevator Speech and Capability Statements. I like that one, and I also saw it on February 22nd. They have a session on access to capital and small business lending programs. And then March 1st, there's going to be just an overall people sharing success stories out of the Columbus office. And I thought that was kind of neat. And those are some of the upcoming webinars that they have coming up. And I'll share all those with via email, along with the recording of this session afterwards.
That's awesome. Thank you for that, Matt. Ms. Dyer, would you like to close us out?
Unmute. I would like to have some comments from the young ladies in the room as to if they would like to say something, or if there's a way that we can help. Thanks, Matt, for that information. So those young ladies in the room, what's going on in your minds right now? If you'd like to say something, that's what this is. It's like an open forum for us. And Sarita, thank you. I mean, we're gonna have to sit down and talk more about. I mean, you're very deep in this, and you're very knowledgeable. So I think we might have to have a Sarita's Corner when we do the BBC every month. And you and Rodney, I tell you, you guys will be leaning on you guys a lot to help us. Don't shake your head, Rodney. Don't do it. So what about the ladies in the room?
So I would like to tell you one of the businesses that we were looking to open up here. I'm an accountant. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm an accountant. So one of the things that I like to do is consult. So most businesses that start, they don't know what a balance sheet is. They don't know what a profit and loss statement is. They don't know, business plans. So one of the things that I was thinking about opening up here is to help smaller businesses manage them, teach them how, to access capital, what you need when you go into a bank, and the forms and stuff that you need, the statements that you need in your business plan. So I work for a consulting firm right now, which is Book Plus Streets, and I do some consulting work on my own as well. So I would like to definitely teach, young business-minded people, or anybody that's going into business, what they need, because it is, like she said, it is very hard. When you go into a business, you have to think about first, okay, what am I going to need in this business plan? Where am I going to get this capital from? I just know I want to start a business, and it is very challenging. So that's one of the businesses that I wanted to bring here. And then we were thinking about opening up a residential home to support. We didn't want to really do a sober living. We didn't really want to do a homeless. We kind of just wanted to give back to the community. And it will not be a profit. So it'll be a for-profit. So we were kind of looking of opening up one of the properties that we have to assist with the community here. Did you have anything that you want to say?
Can they add their information in the chat? Yeah, because I like that residential, because to me, it sounds like the Nia house, Johnny, and what we've been trying to do with helping youth who are displaced. So can you put your information in the chat, please?
So we already have the property that we're going to do. We're just trying to get this up and running. So yeah, so definitely, we can give our contact information.
Yeah, once we finish here, we can actually send that out to everybody too as well. I do want to have a comment until there's an actual business there. I just mentioned the SPDC, but they're always looking for local liaisons to essentially walk folks through everything you just said. That's actually one of their charges. And there's it's not a very difficult process to become part of their network and actually then be able to do the things you're talking about and gain access to all their resources to then share with others. But that might be something to look into. It's to maybe just check with Nicole. I know that Luke Henry went through the classes here. I would like to see more diversity in the types of liaisons that we have here locally.
And definitely, I mean, I want to teach my clients how, to read a balance sheet, to read their profit and loss and see, okay, this is where we need to, generate more revenue or cut back, so that would.
I will enroll me. However much it, yeah.
I'm but I'm more like,
enroll me, please. And I'm pretty sure Pastor Jackie's not on the line, but and then I know we have a great relationship with Chamber. It looks like phase 6. We can meet at Rodney's place, and I know we have places. The Chamber. Just enroll me. Just put it out there, and we'll get people to, because this is important. I like because Sarita had talked about entrepreneurship and building financial literacy, and I like the most important thing that I've taken away, Sarita, is you talked about building generational wealth so that Micah won't have to go to a bank, for his business, and Dez and little Frankie, so I think it's just impactful. So Johnny, so thank you for allowing me to have the closing. Did the other lady Want to say
I think-
anything?
Yeah, Shonda, I think had something to say here real quick.
And
Okay.
I do like early education. So I've ran like daycares for 15 years. I just came out of it. I have my own going to a client's house and babysitting while they were at work. I was doing tutoring. So we're gonna incorporate some of that stuff too.
Into the home.
Yes.
Awesome.
So we're gonna do like a little training. We'd just educational. Because there's not where somebody wants to maybe become a doctor, somebody maybe wants to become an accountant. What are the necessary steps that you need to become that? How much debt will I be in? You know, so stuff like that, we kind of wanna bring.
Are you folks at all connected with Marion Matters at all?
No.
Heidi Jones, like she teaches essentially a lot of that kind of educational pieces, financial literacy classes. And I think she's always looking for like teachers or ways to get the communication out there. It should be a good resource partner for you folks as well. Yeah, Marion Matters. Okay. I can share that information too. Excellent. Very, very cool.
Did
Sorry,
Ronnie have his
Sarah.
hand up? Ronnie, did you want to say something? Did Rodney have a comment?
No,
It was
no.
Okay.
It was me. I was going to mention to the lady who was talking about early childhood education. We definitely we have preschool here in Marion City Schools. Of course, we have kindergarten, but we definitely need teachers to have culturally relevant ways of looking and talking and educating children of color, Black children, multiracial children, Latino children. So if there's a way that we can invite some of our educators here and give them just a snippet, and then we can figure out how we can get you to consult for us. But don't give them everything, just give them a little bit. And then not a lot, just give them a little bit, because we really do need culturally relevant ways of educating our children. And it starts at preschool, kindergarten, and it goes on up. So I'm super excited to hear your work.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Sarah.
I'm over here clapping. I'm over here with the heart emojis. As a mom of 3 Black boys, 2 of whom are in school, Johnny and I were talking just today about educators knowing how to teach and talk to brown and Black children. It is so needed, and I'm just so grateful that you came to this meeting tonight, both of you. Thank you.
And Sarita, you actually know me. I'm Nikia's cousin and Charles' cousin. And so
So we're
yeah.
family. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, fam.
Hey, fam. I did have a question real quick.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I did not catch your name. The lady that was talking about the accountant services that she currently provides.
That's Latrina.
Latrina. Hi, I'm so glad you came tonight. I wanted to ask you, do you offer tax filing services for businesses?
I currently do not.
Okay.
Services right now.
Sarita, are you looking for that?
I am. My sister works for Intuit, and she has done our taxes for years. With her being in a different state, sometimes it's difficult for us to get that done. So I'm just kind of putting some feelers out for some local options because, I might need to transition.
So can I ask you a question? So what like accounting software do you guys use because most businesses don't know that, like QuickBooks or a different type of service that would probably be software that you use for your memberships and stuff like that. There's very easily streamlined, reports that you can send to your tax person that can easily taxes. So I was just asking, Or are you guys already set up? Was that a challenge for you finding, software for your business?
No, we do use QuickBooks now. We actually hired a bookkeeping company to manage our books. I knew very early on that was not something I wanted to leave to my husband. That wasn't going to be a part of his role. And being married in business with your spouse just adds another layer of complexity.
Yeah. Pick your battles.
So, we work with our bookkeeping company and merge.
A new moped?
Continue.
We merge those two vendors together and get, we'll help facilitate what information needs to be passed between the two. And so far it's worked out great because I don't want to do it either. But if there's a local process that can be more streamlined and we can just have that accessibility, that I think that might help things.
Well, we as a chamber could certainly send you some referrals as well for some folks that help with that. But it looked like Rodney was about to talk to unmuted. He unmuted himself, so I don't know if he had something to add here, but then I think he got thrown away by a customer on this. But maybe Rodney or probably busy. Sarah, I think we're back to. Oh, Rodney's back. Rodney, did you have anything to add to that?
Did I hear my name?
Yeah, did you have anything, you unmuted, I just want to check to see if you wanted to add to that, the tax filing.
Oh, like she said early on, I knew that was one hat I didn't want to wear. So I, from day one, I sourced out, interviewed CPAs, accountants around town, and I ended up settling in with Wilkinson and Associates. With Kara Gamble mainly handling my services. And it was nice because they really tailored it to what I was doing in the shop. So it wasn't just, we're going to treat you like a big company and this is what it's going to be. It's really tailored to what I needed.
That's really helpful, Rodney.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
and a lot of we lost Alex Reese this year, and I know a lot of individuals who that was Miss Hatch's boy right there, because she would only go to people of color as far as her business needs were concerned. Rodney Banks, Alex was his go-to guy. Matt, do we have anybody that we know that are African American businesses that provide that service? And so that's one thing. And then the second thing is to everyone who is in this space, like right now, we do appreciate you being here. We're trying to grow this space. And I thought with Sarita being the keynoter today, we would attract a different audience. And look, we surely did. We attracted a couple of individuals, but let's bring in and allow different individuals to be in the space. We do meet monthly, and we are trying to be a resource as well as a support group for African American businesses in Marion. So appreciate everybody being here, and these recordings. These sessions are recorded, and Matt will get these out. He normally does it in a very timely way. So if you missed anything, we can go back and grab that by listening to the recording. So I think our next, Johnny, who was our next person? Sarita, do you remember who is after you? I don't either, because we set it up for January as well as February. So
Tyler Pigman, I think, right?
Who?
Would that be Tyler Pigman's presentation from the health department? Was that going to be February's?
Maybe it was.
Yeah,
But we'll
Tyler
get the,
said he was going to be ready in February. We just need to reach out. I can reach out to him. and ask him
okay,
if he's still gonna
okay,
be ready.
so,
Mhm.
yeah. And so everybody, when we get these things from Matt and Kelly, let's share them out so that we can grow this and make it a really, really, I love tonight. And we try not to, be too taxing on people's time. But this, Rodney was amazing a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, a month ago. And Sarita, you did an awesome job. And I'm pretty sure that we can do phase 6 part 2, and it would still be as thrilling. So just appreciate everyone being here. Thank you, Johnny, for facilitating, and I'll throw it back to you.
Just February 10th it would be, I think, the next one, if I remember right.
Sure. So, yep. Thank you, Matt, for that. Our next meeting will be February 10th. Again, we'll have the hybrid option. So please, in the effort of bringing more people, if everyone could be responsible for bringing one person, we could grow this. We could actually double the capacity, right? If we all just brought one person. What'd you say?
Sarah knocked out, she got 2, so.
I know, right? That means you get a bonus. We might have to go in and buy you a phase 6 year subscription. I did the math. So
Oh gosh,
you could throw
kill
in
me
your bonus.
now. Kill me now. I'll just take a
Got
shirt.
you.
I'll take
Or
a
we could
shirt.
we can all go and have an open gym together. Feels like we get one free
We'll set
training,
that up.
right?
We'll set that up.
We get one free training. We can all go together. We won't put that on you, Miss Dyer. So again, thank you so much for
Thanks, everyone.
Matt. Thank you for everything that you did.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Sarita, as always, as your work, and to our 2 amazing new members. Welcome, and we hope that you keep coming, growing, and building and sharing with us. So, good night, and
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.